What's going on, Raider Nation and NFL fans? So the season ended right before the game started, or right after the kickoff. It's an unfortunate sign of events, but this team had a lot of work in front of them, and they couldn't come through. The Colts, they ran all over the Raiders. The running game, it just speaks for itself. I haven't seen tape on the game, not a whole lot yet, but Tyvon Branch was beaten on one touchdown, but the big thing that was the problem was the penalties. And, that was a key I mentioned before the game was penalties. What are they going to do with the penalty situation? And what do you know, they were costly. That end of the second half, or end of the first half, sorry. Chris Johnson had a big pass interference. That was costly. Led to a touchdown the next play. And, that negative momentum of penalties, it just hurt. It really did, because later there was also another pass interference later in the game. But Dominic Rhodes, and along with Joseph Adai, they ran all over us. I was wondering if they'd stop the run. The 2-minute drill for the Colts, they just execute that stuff really well. I'm not surprised at all that they were able to go down the field after we kicked the field goal. Janikowski had a good game, but we couldn't get in the end zone when it mattered. I know we got one in there in the end, but the offense was just a little incompetent, and as we know, the defense committed a ton of penalties. That's pretty much the summary of this game is penalties. And, you're not going to get anywhere if you keep these penalties up as much as we overcame them in other games. The amazing thing that's funny about the game next week is that it's meaningless. The Chiefs won and the Chargers lost, which, the AFC is all wrapped up now. With the exception of the South, the AFC divisions and the playoff spots are clinched. So, the Colts wanted this game more. They needed this game a lot more than us. And they came out there to win. Jacksonville lost, and that definitely gave them a spark, I know. So, congrats to the Colts. You guys were a better team. Can't say a whole lot. This team, the Raider teams, this year could not win outside of the West divisions. And, we benefited from some easy schedules, but there are some goods and downs this season. Just really say thank you to the Raiders in general for having at least a little bit more winning than what we're used to seeing. We might be struggling, yeah, we have our problems, but we did show progress this year. Losing Seymour, yeah, it definitely hurt on the front seven. Having Seymour up there definitely helps, and it didn't help that he was missing this game. As I said, the Colts ran over us. We had Peyton Manning struggling early on, but just later down the stretch, those penalties hurt. Not getting in the end zone, as said before. Janikowski had a very nice game. I know he missed one near the end of the half, but he made a 59-yarder, I think a 52-yarder. Just made a bunch of field goals, but unfortunately, we couldn't get in the end zone until near the end. And fantasy owners, you get one touchdown near the end, but the offensive line had its struggles. Not going to say enough about that, but I couldn't watch the game, so I can't see if there were bad calls, if there were terrible calls, if coverage, who was blown in coverage here and there. I can't say a whole lot there on that. So those of you who were able to watch the game and every play, let me know. But I said before, next week's game is just for pride. The Chiefs might even put in their second stringers because they already got the division wrapped up. Can you believe, the state of Missouri is celebrating both ways. The Rams won today for them, and then the Chiefs won. I know Kansas likes the Chiefs, but I know Missouri can be split, and they're very excited out there in the area. So congrats to those guys, and congrats to the Colts today. You're the better team. Chargers, amazing how the Bengals came out there. That's the game I was stuck watching, and the Chargers, they're just not that same team that they were a few years ago, and this Charger team just proved they couldn't win this game. The Bengals wanted it more for them, so congrats to the Chiefs on winning the division. Even if they go one and done in the playoffs, you won't hear from me. But we're not going anywhere. Just got another game for pride. Try out who's good and who's not. But props to the Colts again. We'll see y'all later.